Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are returning to the Revolution Forever Flawless Birds of Paradise palette. I had not used this palette since my review of it, but after the poll for my last video here on YouTube, I put another one up on Instagram to choose between this one and the Forever Flawless Allure, and Instagram chose this one, so we had a play with it today. I have some additional thoughts which I'm going to get into at the end of the video. And if you'd like to see how I got this look and the adventures that we experienced along the way, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, as always my eyes are primed with the PLouise Base, which means it is time to jump into this palette. Right now it's winning the vote by 68% on Instagram, and I don't see that changing drastically anytime soon, so I just need to decide what I want to do today. I've been following this account on Instagram for a couple of months now. I'm probably going to say this wrong. Grace Pedrigal? I don't know. I will link it down below. Her work is absolutely amazing, and she does a lot of, I don't really know how to describe it, but just all over blends rather than cut creases and things like that, and I really want to do something in that style, so I think that's what we're going to go for today. I'm gonna go into the shade Vaycay, which is the neon pink. I'm taking that as always on a Zoeva 231, and I'm going to start by applying it on the outer portion of my eye. Gosh, this one is pigmented. I'm gonna bring it into the crease. I'm not gonna worry too much about the shape for now, but I want the colour to be packed on the lid as well as in the crease. Then next, on a new clean Zoeva 231, I'm gonna go into the purple, which is called Adventure, and this one's just gonna go next to the pink. I had forgotten just how pigmented these shades were. I feel like in the final look that I did in my review, everything ended up looking a bit dull. I don't know why. I mean, these are beautiful. Then I'm going to switch back to the brush I used for Vaycay and help blend the two shades out together. Can add some more of Adventure. I do feel like they're struggling to blend a little. I don't know if it's because they're pressed pigments, and a little bit more of Vaycay as well. I think it's lifted off slightly on the lid. Seems a bit of a shame. This is a lot of work right now. It's not looking super smooth. Then again, on another clean Zoeva 231, this time I'm going to take Macaw, and same again, I'm just going to build it up next to Adventure. I'm going to take it almost all the way in, but not quite, I think. So just leave a really little gap just on the inner corner. Yeah, it's gone really patchy right up near the lash line. Just the purple though, I think, not the other colours. It's doing it with the blue as well. Don't know why. I feel like this is turning into a lot of work. I don't remember things being that difficult the last time I played with this palette, so maybe it's just the way that I'm using the colours now as opposed to last time, but it's definitely gone patchy, both the blue and the purple. And then right on the inner corner, I'm also going to jump into a little bit of Jungle and just get that right on the inside. And again, I'm just blending out with the previous colour. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever had that issue with Revolution eyeshadows before. I'm just looking at the back of the palette right now, and shades Vaycay and Adventure, so the pink and the purple, they're both pressed pigments. The blue one, Macaw, is not, but I had the same issue with Macaw and Adventure, which I just think is a bit surprising. And then the green is not, and well, the green seems to be fine. It hasn't caused me any issues, but it's just those two colours in the middle. I'm a bit annoyed. I don't know why that's happened. Anyway, so I'm just quickly wiping the brush I used for the pink in a colour switcher, and what I'm going to do now is blend outwards. So I'm just going to take the lighter colour for every shade. For the pink, it's going to be the Feather. Oh no, Tail Feather. The Feather. It's going to be Tail Feather, which is this one. Let's see what happens when we blend these out. So I'm just going to start by blending upwards, I guess. I don't think I used this colour in my original video, so this one is a first for me. It's a little bit more of a purpley pink. I wish it was really more of a pastel pink almost to really blend that one out, but we'll go with it. I'm just bringing it round the back a little here. I'll come and neaten up this edge later on, I think. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the next shade. So again, I've wiped the brush off that I used with Adventure, and this time I'm going to take Island. And again, I'm just blending upwards, and then I'll also blend into the pink. These lighter shades definitely need a little bit more work. I feel like I'm just dipping my brush in a lot more than I was with the two darker shades before. But they do blend out the darker counterparts quite nicely. I'm just going to make sure these two are blended in now. I feel like these two are blending together okay, but if anything, I feel like I'm having some sort of blending issue between the two pinks. I don't know, something feels a little bit patchy. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of tail feather, blend into the crease again. So same again, I've wiped these over 231 I used with Macaw, and this time I'm gonna use Take Flight. These two seem to blend in absolutely fine. The top edge definitely isn't perfect. I'm going to come back and finish all of it afterwards. Right now I just want to focus on placing the colours. So I am again just going to blend the two shades in together. And then to blend out the green, I'm going to take Budgie. In terms of those four shades, Island is a pressed pigment, Tail Feather is as well. What did I use next? Take Flight isn't, and Budgie, where's Budgie? Budgie isn't. I mean, I feel like with the lighter shades, they kind of all perform the same. It's just more that issue that I've had in between, God, I can't remember any of these names, in between Take Flight and Vaycay. But then in terms of blending out, they've all been fine. So I don't really know if it has anything to do with them being pressed pigments or not. I don't know. I've just primed my lower lash line with the PLouise Base. So I think I'm just pretty much going to use the same colours again. So starting off with Vaycay on the outer third. Then next into Adventure in the middle. And then finally Macaw on the inner third. The whole thing looks a little bit unfinished right now. So I am now going to go into Tail Feather on a Morphe M330. I'm going to start blending out that lower lash line and just defining the shape of my eyeshadow. Not doing anything. I don't think it is. I think this brush might actually be way too soft to be using right now. I can't remember what I thought of it with a Sigma E36, so let's try it out. No, softer brushes definitely don't work with this palette, so let me go back into the Zoeva 231. I don't think I really like this shade. Go back in with the Morphe brush now. I know I've already said it, but I do think that this shade is just too purpley to be blending out the pink with. It just doesn't really work, and I think it just looks quite messy on the outer corner. Yeah, this is gonna need a lot of cleaning up when it comes to doing my face. I'm now gonna jump back into Island. I'm just gonna carry on with the Zoeva 231s because I think they're just what works best with these shadows. And then again, I'm just gonna finish blending it out at the top. And then same again with Take Flight. And I'm also just going to make sure that the front is nice and blended out with a bit more of Budgie. I mean, right now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that this may well be one of my worst blends in a while. Oh, is there any way that we can rescue this? It'll definitely look better when I've cleaned it up here at the bottom because it's definitely gone too low because of the brushes that I was trying to use at the start. So I feel like once that edge is cleaned up, it'll look a bit better. But I mean, overall, it's not great. It looks very, very patchy. I'm trying to think what I could do to rescue it. Okay. I've had a think, panic over temporarily unless I mess everything up in the next 5 minutes, which is always a possibility. I think I want to go in with some yellow on my inner corner. Now there is a yellow in the palette, which is Canary, which looks nice, from memory swatch is nice, but I don't remember liking it that much on the eye, so I'm gonna cheat, sorry. So I'm gonna go in with the yellow pigment from my Oh My Glitter Neon pigment set because I want it to really, really, really pop. So just on a small crease brush, this one is my Nancy. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more PLouise Base and just prime that inner corner some more. Just blend the edges out as well. And then I guess with the same brush, I'm just gonna go in with the pigment. I'm freaking out a little bit less now. This is definitely more apparent now that I've added the pigment, because obviously it's a neon pigment, so it's so much more vivid than everything else that I've put on before. There is something a little bit dull about this eye look, and I know that's what I said in my last video, and today I was a bit like, oh, why was I saying that? Everything's so pigmented, but now I've got everything on. It's really, really dull. It just is. It's just not popping all that much. But I think the neon inner corner is bringing it back for me. So now I am going to go in with my Inglot gel eyeliner. This is the black one. I have added some Revolution Pro mixing liquid in there because it just helps fluidify the whole thing, because mine is drying out. And the brush that I'm using, by the way, is a Pro Arte Master Stroke. This is from the series 63 in the size number 4. These Pro Arte brushes, by the way, are really, really good. They are incredibly cheap because they're art brushes, so I will try and remember to link them down below. This one's a little bit big though, so I do want to try the size below, but it is so thin and so cheap, so I do recommend giving them a look. I'm gonna get really close to the mirror now, guys, sorry. Do I bring that shape out into the inner corner, or am I just gonna ruin it? That's probably the best that that's gone in a very long time. I've made a couple of little mistakes here and there, but this brush is just so narrow. I'm definitely gonna get some more and get some smaller ones as well. Okay, I feel like the liner definitely distracts from the bad blend, which is exactly what I wanted. My original plan was to play with one of the glitters, but I just don't see it working. For the waterline, I'm gonna go in with my LA Girl Neon Eyeliner in the shade Screamin'. And now I've done the other eye. Let's try going in with a second coat. This is not going well. I just seem to be picking products today that I just don't really like, which is not great. I'm just not really impressed with those LA Girl liners for the waterline. I know some people really, really like them, but I don't think they're for me, and I just haven't found my dream coloured eyeliners yet, which is a bit sad. The eyes are basically done. I just need to add lashes, so I'm going to do that off camera. I'm also going to do the skin, and then we'll come back and finish everything off together. Alright guys, so my base is now done, and yes, I have added gems at the front of the eye. I just wanted something to distract from the horrible blend, because I really don't like the way it looks right now, and gems are just always the way to go. And then for my lashes, I've gone with the crystal lashes from Daxi Beauty, again because they're just a little bit fluffier, a little bit more dramatic, so they are just kind of hiding everything in the background, just distracting from this blend. I wanted to let you guys know that I do now have a discount code with Daxi Beauty for 10% off. The lashes are super affordable. This particular model was only £3, and I think most of the ones on the website are, apart from the luxury models. But if you now enter code Auroreblogs at checkout, you will also get an extra 10% off. I'm not getting any commission from that code, just the possibility of earning more lashes from it, but they are a brand that I've now ordered from twice. I really love the lashes. They have literally taken the place of all of my Kiss lashes, which I threw away the other day because they were damaged, and they're around the £8 to £10 mark, I think, whereas these are £3 and they look just as good, so I will definitely be placing more orders from them in the future. I've just been raving about them ever since I started using them. I feel like I tell everyone about them, so if you did want to give them a go, you can now get 10% off with my code. Alright, now that I'm done talking, we do need to finish the face off. I don't really know what I want to do. Let's try the Mega Moon highlighter from Makeup Obsession. I don't use it very often because it is very cool toned, as you can see, but I kind of want to tie everything back into the eyes, so let's give it a go. If I hate it, we can always take it off. So I'm just taking that on my PC17 from Peaches and Cream. I'm not mad at it. And then for blush, what I thought maybe I could do would be to use the shade Vaycay. Actually, I might go warm toned, so I'm gonna try a little bit of Cardinal, which is the darker orange, and a little bit of Tocan Play, which is the lighter one. And this is probably gonna be quite intense, so I am just dabbing it on my hand. Try some more. I guess it's kind of working. And then I'm bringing it up into the temple as well. That's not bad. I do like the tone it's added. Oh, I think that was a bit too strong for my nose though. Just go back in with my powder brush. It kind of works. I just realised that I forgot to contour my nose. I don't think I would recommend using the eyeshadows as blush on the nose because I think it's just removed the foundation. Annoying. I want to match the lips to the cheeks, but I think if I just go for a lipstick, it's just going to be a bit much. So I'm going to line the lips with the MUA Intense Colour Lip Liner in the shade Fancy. And then I'm going to go in with the Mini Fenty Gloss Bomb. This is the shade Cheeky. I've just added another gem to my top lip, and I'm going to finish everything off with the Iconic London Prep Set and Glow. Alright guys, that is it for the finished look. I guess I hope you guys like it. It certainly was a little bit of an adventure getting here. I think I have managed to make the look work in the end. I think when you look at it from a distance, it's fine, and then as soon as you look a bit closer, it looks quite clumsy. It doesn't look very nice. It's probably my worst blend in a very, very long time, and that's kind of disappointing. I was definitely on the fence about this palette when I first reviewed it, but now having used the palette a second time, I would not recommend it. It started off so beautifully pigmented and I was convinced that this look was going to be amazing. I'd be so happy with it, and then as I was trying to blend, things were just not going well. The colours have definitely lifted. I think that everything I've done afterwards has kind of brought it back. The gems, the liner, the neon pigment. But if I hadn't done that, I would be really, really unhappy with this look right now. I think especially when you look at the tin for this palette, it's so colourful and so bright, so you expect it to translate in that way on the eye, and I personally don't think it does. I think in the monitor it looks a bit brighter, but in real life there's just something that's a bit dull. Upon using this palette a second time, I would not recommend it. I already hadn't picked it up since my review, but I just don't see myself reaching for it anymore. There are better options for rainbow palettes out there. There are better options for Revolution eyeshadows out there. I just had too many problems with it today, and I just don't think this palette is worth the money. I have also completely forgotten to add, and really need to mention this, at the time of reviewing this palette, the Forever Flawless range was £10 and the price has now been increased to £12, so it's now more expensive, and I just don't really like this one. Sorry. If you enjoyed this video, then do, as always, please give it a big thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys!
When you say